Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know the setup is a little bit different, but I really wanted to do a girls chat. I saw a video very similar to this and I was like, I love talking to you guys. I love giving advice. You guys know this. Why not have a girls chat? I asked you guys some questions on Instagram, TikTok, pretty much across all my platforms of some things you guys wanted advice on. You guys definitely are a little bit nosy and want to know a little bit about me as well. And so I'm just going to share my advice on everything and things I feel like I learned or I'm learning in my 20s. I have some notes on my phone. I have some notes on my phone that I'm going to be reading off of just so I can stay in order, because I'll keep talking and I'll go on a tangent. But before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's hop into the video. I feel like I'm about to expose myself a little bit, but that's okay because I love you guys. This is a safe place for us girls. It's good. Friendships and relationships. How to make friendships in your 20s. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, I'm 21 years old and nobody said when graduating high school how hard it was going to be to make friendships or make friends. I feel like when you're in school, you grow up with these people or you're around them all the time. And I'm a very quiet person, or I'm trying to get out of that, but I was a very quiet person in school. So I really never spoke unless I was spoken to. Usually how I made friends is because I would see the same people every day. Out of habit, if that makes sense. Now that I am grown and I don't go to school anymore, I'm really just at home. I don't see people. It's really, that's why I'm not really making friends and stuff like that. I feel like it's not hard to make friends. I feel like it's just getting out of your comfort zone. For me personally, I feel like if I actually do go out alone or go places and actually speak to people, I will make friends and make connections, because I feel like we're not the only people who feel like that. I feel like everyone kind of feels like that. I feel like we just need to get outside, go places, go explore, do new things, and then we'll meet somebody, and then we'll meet girls, and then those girls will introduce us to girls. I feel like it will be that type of thing. I feel like honestly just talking, and I know sometimes it might feel awkward, at least to me. I feel like sometimes that's a little awkward to just go up to people and talk. I still struggle with that, so you're not the only one struggling with that. I'm working on it too. I actually gave myself a goal this year to actually talk more, and it could be something so small, like if I actually like someone's shoes or like someone's shirt, I'm going to say it. I'm just gonna say it. I'm like, hey, I really like your shoes, because it sparks up conversation. That's a big milestone for me that I'm working on. I think we both should work on that, just literally talking and actually getting out of our comfort zone and doing things and getting outside instead of being in our room, in our house, and being where we're comfortable. We gotta get out, and I feel like that's how we can make friends. But it is, I feel like, a little harder to make friends in your 20s, and I feel like nobody really talks about that. Next thing is toxic friendships and friendship breakups. I feel like when it comes to toxic anything, you don't want that in your life. You don't want to be around any negativity or anything like that, because it's going to hold you back and it's unnecessary stress. And I feel like it's really hard when it's friendships that are toxic. It's because who doesn't want friends? You know what I mean? Who doesn't want that? But I feel like you just need to leave it alone. You need to move on, cut it out of your life. It is, like I said, it is really hard to make friends in your 20s, but I promise you, when you actually let go of that toxic energy, the way you feel about yourself, the interactions you have with people is going to be 10 times better and less stressful, which is going to allow you to have people in your life who are actually not toxic. But if you're functioning in a toxic area, or you're always around that, you're only going to keep bringing that type of energy, and it's just best to just let it go. That's what toxic friendships, all of that. And I'm not gonna lie, I feel like when, especially someone who doesn't have a lot of friends, or you have a good 5 friends and you're really close with them, those friendships, when y'all break up, is so hard. I remember I had a friend, we gonna call her Jay, and she was my best friend, bro. Jarian and Barbara, those are my best friends, but Jay was like my best friend. We did everything together. She was like my sister. And when we had our friend break up, I would actually do a story time on that, because it's still crazy to me to this day. But how we ended our friendship, or the reason why, it was truly heartbreaking. It's definitely, I feel like, more worse than a relationship breakup. Friendship breakups are really hard. They really are. It's cut out all negativity, cut out all toxic friendships, especially friendships. Your friendships should not be toxic. Neither should your relationships. Cut it out. Better things are going to come when you let go of old things. When you shed that old skin, let it go. Now we're moving on to dating in your 20s. So someone asked, what is it like dating in your 20s? Y'all just want to be in my business. Like, I'm only 21, but I feel like I have not the most experience. I was definitely a late bloomer when it came to dating and stuff like that. I'm not gonna lie. I had my first boyfriend at 18, which I feel like is normal, but a lot of people have been dating since freaking middle school. And I wasn't one of those people. If you were, cool, but I wasn't. So I feel like technically I was a little bit late, but with that I feel like I learned a lot, because when I watched people date, even my mom or my friends, people in school, I learned from stuff that they did and made me realize I don't want that, I would want that, I wouldn't want that. That's how I took it. I've only had one boyfriend and it wasn't bad or anything, it was cool, but I feel like when it comes to dating, especially in your 20s, I feel like a lot of people, of course you have to experiment and stuff like that, but I feel like when it comes to experimenting, it means actually getting to know people, not dating as you're committed to one person and you're sleeping with this person, doing all this stuff, like doing wife things. That's not what I consider dating. I consider dating talking to multiple people, hanging out with multiple people, things like that. I feel like that is what 20s dating should be like. I just feel like when it comes to dating now, guys are just very lustful, extremely lustful. They don't bring nothing to the table, at least my age, guys. We're in school or we're working towards finding out our careers. What could they really have? But at the end of the day, if you take away sexual relations, like, there's just nothing there. What I think of dating is, I don't know. I don't really have much to say about dating because I'm still learning myself, but my standards I feel like are just really high. And I don't want to call it standards, it's just my self-love and self-respect for myself is high. I really just don't have time for any BS. I don't do the cheating, the lying, can't communicate, this, that. I don't have time for it. If any of that is in the picture, I just don't deal with it. That's really what I think about dating. And I feel like I am a little bit more mature when it comes to dating, especially being in my 20s, only because I've seen other people's experiences. I don't have time for that. And then when I do go on dates and stuff with people, just by the way people think and talk, and it doesn't align with what I want, even though everything doesn't have to align with what I want, but I think basic core values and the way that I'm treated really does matter, and it's always going to matter. That's very simple. I'm not doing it. I think another thing with like dating in your 20s, personally, you guys, I went on a few dating websites only because I'm a homebody. I'm always in the house. So if I were or wanted to meet someone, it's not very rare, but like when I go out and I leave, I literally do what I have to do and I leave. I don't go there looking for anything. And so I feel like I'm never really gonna meet anybody because I don't be talking to people like that. So I went on a dating website just because I was truly just curious. It was me and my friend. It was like, why not? Let's see what's on there. Let's see who's on there. And so I did that. Y'all, if you have a dating website on your phone, delete it. Delete it. I feel like all the people on there, something just isn't right. Not everyone, but like people my age, I don't know. I feel like something's just not right. I just feel like personally, I feel like I'm just not meant to be on dating websites or anything. I don't think personally I'm meant to find my husband or my person online, on social media or anything. I feel like I'm going to run into them at the store, run into them doing something that I like doing. I feel like that's just how it's going to happen for me, and I'm okay with that because I feel like I just don't really want to date anyone who does social media like me, or anyone that I just don't want to meet anyone who knows me before actually knowing me. I don't know. I feel like, especially being on social media, I feel like people already have a perception of you and stuff like that, and I really just don't like that. Especially when I'm talking to people and they're, oh, you have social media? I do. And then they see it and then, oh my gosh, you're famous, or just dumb stuff. I don't like that. So I feel like the person that I meant to be with, I'm gonna run into them and they're gonna fall in love with me, and you know, the story goes from there. Another thing dating in my 20s, I've noticed, and I'm always going to put myself first. In every situation, put myself first, because a man is always going to put himself first all the time. Remember that. But I feel like at the end of the day, if I'm not happy with myself, I can't really make anybody else happy or be happy with anyone else if I can't even be happy by myself and alone. Also, I feel like I just became very, very, very picky when it comes to dating. I truly believe that my man will fit everything. Sometimes I don't even know exactly what I'm looking for, but I know exactly what I'm not looking for. If it has those knots in there, it's just not gonna work. Simple. And there are a billion men on this planet, so trust, there's a lot out there that will fit what I need. I feel like that's really how I can sum up dating in my 20s, at least my personal 20s. Y'all let me know what y'all think, what y'all be doing, but that's kind of what I do. Someone said, should I raise my standards? I'm pretty sure you guys saw my your standards are in hell video, and a lot of people were commenting from that. But I feel like let me be 100% honest with you. I feel like every woman should have high standards, or everyone's standards are not the same. You can't go look at somebody else's standards and make those your standards if that's not even the lifestyle that you want or admire. You know what I mean? Find your standards, and it's not that they have to be high, it's that you have to stick to them. And I feel like if you have a certain level of respect for yourself, a certain level of just self-love for yourself, those standards are going to be high. You're not going to let certain things slide. You know what I mean? But I would say treat people how you want to be treated. If you can't even do the standards that you want, I feel like you can't expect somebody else to do them. And what I mean by that, and I don't mean like money wise, because a man should always provide, and nobody's even talking about that. That should just be a given. But you have to be, if you want somebody who's caring, and you also have to be caring. You know what I mean? Or if you want somebody who can listen to conversations, stuff like that, you got to make sure you can do those things too. It's just, don't expect things from people when you don't even do it. And that's like emotional wise and all this stuff, because I truly do believe in a relationship a woman needs to have those certain aspects to herself. And I know being soft and stuff, like, you can't always expect a guy to be super nice to you and kind, and you can't even be nice. You know what I mean? But that also comes with the person that you're dealing with. No toxic people, but if the guy is like what you want and stuff, make sure you can do those things too. And I just go by the golden rule: treat people how you want to be treated. And that's what I do. I'm always very nice, I'm always very kind. That doesn't mean I like you or I'm gonna get with you. That's just how I am, period. With friends, family, new people, strangers, I'm just a nice person. And so make those standards high, because they're probably extremely low. Let's see, the next thing is lifestyle, independence, things of that nature. I'm gonna say there's nothing wrong with a 9-to-5. I've been seeing so many videos about people talking about 9-to-5s and how you're broke if you have a 9-to-5, or content creators. It's so dumb. I don't get it. I don't understand. Everybody is not meant to be a content creator or an entrepreneur. Don't think that because you have a 9-to-5 you cannot get rich. There are so many jobs, doctors, lawyers, those are all considered 9-to-5s. I don't know who just thought that 9-to-5s were just McDonald's and stuff like that. That's not true. Stop listening to people. Stop caring about what people think. The only people who make fun of situations like 9-to-5s or still living at home are people online. In real life, nobody cares. Nobody thinks like that. Nobody cares. It's never that deep. The world would not be running if people didn't work jobs. It's just having a job, period. At least you're making money. Because there's people out here who are not making any money and they're just sitting around. That doesn't even matter. There's nothing wrong with a 9-to-5. Do what makes you happy. Make that money. Succeed doing your goals. Stop listening to people online telling you you can't have a 9-to-5. You'll always be broke. I don't know what that is about. If you want to be an entrepreneur and do your own thing, do it. Cool. But don't try to knock people's hustle because they work a normal job. That's very weird, and I've been seeing that a lot on social media, but that's not cool. Also, living alone. I got kind of something to say about that, because like I said, I'm 21 years old. I still live at home. I did not move out, and I'm good where I'm at. I feel like a lot of times social media pressures people to move out and have everything on their own at the ripe age of 18. And it's just like, that's cool and all, and that's good if you can do that or you have the means to do that. But I feel like even if you do have the means to do that, you don't have to do that. I feel like the only people who make that such a thing that you have to do is on social media. I feel like people in real life literally do not care at all. I feel like if you're in school, if you're any reason that you're staying at home, if you have a loving family who loves you and wants you to succeed, and they want you to get all of your ducks in a row before you actually go and live on your own and then have to be subjected to all these bills and extra stress, they want you to be content and making sure you hit the ground running, that's a blessing. That's a great thing. I understand moving out if your situation is very toxic and it's just not safe anymore or things like that. That's a whole different story. But if your situation isn't like that and you actually have like a loving, great setup, stop rushing to move out, because I feel like all it's going to do is really hinder you. And a lot of people nowadays, because look at this economy, it's so much different than it was when we were young. A lot of people now are moving back home because it's so expensive, literally. Times are actually hard. I would say if you're still at home, if If you're still in college, still just home or whatever, even if you're not in college, because I'm not in college and I'm still at home. But whatever you're doing, it's okay to be at home. Stop rushing. It's really not that serious. I promise you, in a couple of years or when you're actually ready, the houses are still going to be there. Stop rushing. Stop comparing your life's plan and your life's journey on somebody else's that you're seeing most likely on Instagram. Let's be real. You're seeing it on your phone. Please stop. I went through that too. I thought that I had to move out. I really want to move out. I really just want to decorate my own house. I feel like that's the only reason I truly wanted to move out, was to decorate. See, do you hear how stupid that sounds? Other than that, I'm good where I'm at. I'm happy where I'm at. I'm able to live out my dreams. I'm able to work on my craft. I'm able to learn. I'm able to do all these things and not have to be subjected to worrying about stressing to pay bills month to month. I have a loving family. I have food cooked for me. It's good. Everyone's situation is different, but just be grateful for where you are right now, where God has put you right now, because it could be different. You just need to be blessed where you are and stop rushing. Someone said, starting over in your career in your 20s. I am non-college, but I took a trade, I guess that's what you could call it, but not really. It's for real estate, right? Now I'm gonna be 100% real with y'all. I did all of my real estate school. I've done everything, but I just didn't take my test. To this day, I still have not taken my test. I just need to go and take it. But I feel like the honest truth on why I haven't taken my test is because I truly don't want to do real estate. I'm going to have real estate. I'm going to buy house stuff, but I really don't like care to be selling houses and stuff. I really don't. But that's not my dream. I literally only got my license, or getting my real estate license, just to have a backup or something else other than social media. But honestly speaking, it's not something I truly want to do. And I just feel like in your 20s, we're always changing, we're seeing new things, we're getting exposed to new things. Your ideas and everything you want to do is evident to change, and that's okay. Don't try to look at other people's timings and think that you're behind and stuff like that. I'm low-key thinking about going to school. I never actually saw myself going to college. I don't know why. I never did, but I always thought about doing a trade. And I do think I might actually go to school for another trade in the medical field that I actually think I want to do, because I always wanted to be in the medical field. I wanted to be a brain surgeon, but I wanted to be a brain surgeon or a director. And I'm going towards the director side, but I could definitely still get my license, or I can get certified. I can definitely get my associate's or bachelor's degree in this field I'm talking about very easily, and it'll only take me like 2 to 3 years. And it's just like, I'll be 23. That's good. I just don't know. I'm just somebody, I want a lot of things kind of under my belt. Sometimes I feel like some people don't have certain passions for things. And I feel like for me, nothing like job-wise has ever caught my eye other than being on camera, talking to my camera. From since I was very young, nothing really caught my eye. I'm still looking at different career paths, but I definitely want to add another career path to me. But I'm also still going to do my social media. I'm going to have a business coming up, and so I feel like it is okay to change your mind. Just make sure you're doing it for you and nobody else. And I feel like a lot of people I went to school with, they're pretty much on their 3rd year of school or of college, about to graduate soon, and I haven't even went to college. I'm thinking about doing it now. It doesn't matter. Everybody's on their own timing, and those people probably are doing their careers, and they're probably going to come back 10 years from now to go back to school because they want to change what they do. Doesn't matter. You're on your own path. Stop comparing your situation to somebody else's, and just pray to God, and I promise you He's going to lead you if you're willing to listen. In your 20s, I feel like it's okay. 20s, 30s, in your life period, start over as many times as you have to. This is everybody's first time living life, so live life. How to focus on yourself. First thing I'm gonna say, because personally I had to get to the point where I had to focus on myself. I had went through a breakup, and I feel like I kind of lost myself, not because of a relationship, but just because it was my first relationship, and I was so wrapped up in that. I didn't really see myself being an individual, if that makes sense. And so I had to really relearn how to focus on myself, and it's not easy. I feel like, especially when you're coming out of a situation where you weren't focusing on yourself, it's not the easiest thing to do, but it is 100% possible and 100% worth it. I feel like the first thing you have to do is start romanticizing your life. Literally every little thing, just be so grateful for it. God, there's somebody who's in a worse situation or never even had what you had. I feel like every day when I wake up, I literally romanticize everything that I do. I am so grateful for everything. I try to kind of do just little things by myself that make me happy. And I truly try to romanticize my life. It doesn't matter. Romanticize your life. Be delusional. think everything is beautiful and so great. What is it? Wear silk pajamas because they make me feel cute, and I love that it takes care of my skin. I light a candle because I just love the essence. I just try to make sure I feel happy. Me personally feel happy, and I feel like that's a way of focusing on yourself. Getting busy is focusing on yourself. I feel like when you're filling up your time either getting in God's word, which it should be getting in God's word, and doing little hobbies or little things that make you happy, like painting, reading books, it's like you don't have time to not focus on yourself when you're filling your time up with things that you love and you enjoy, or with loved ones. So I would just say romanticize your life, start filling up your calendar, start getting out, hanging out with friends, start doing things that you love, start actually spending time alone and being happy in your own presence. I feel like that's the best way to focus on yourself. Your take on people having kids before marriage. I feel like I really thought somebody was going to say this because I talk about it not a lot, but like often. But I just feel like now it's very common and normalized to have kids before getting married, that having kids is less of a commitment than marriage. And personally, I don't understand where that came from. I don't understand how that's even an argument. I don't get that. I really don't. Personally, I will make sure I have a ring before I bear any children to any man. That's just me. I just don't. Everybody's gonna do what they do. But let's move on from that question. This self-care, mental health type of topic, which I love to talk about because mental health is everything. And how to keep up with feminine hygiene. Some people may agree, some people may not, but I feel like when it comes to self-hygiene, I feel like less products are better. And I used to be somebody who's always buying new products, and I'd have so many different products that I feel like it's impossible for them to work because you don't use them long enough to see if it actually works. I feel like sometimes you need to only get products that actually target the problem that you're having, if it's coming to back acne or whatever. Just make sure it targets what your main problem is, and you just use that one product at least for 2 months before you go switch to another product. I feel like with me, when I shower, I don't use many products. I wash with bar soap, and then I wash with body wash, and my bar soap is antibacterial Dove original, and then I like to use Dr. Bronner's. If I don't use the Dr. Bronner's, I'll be using a turmeric wash because it helps with dark marks on my shoulders and stuff like that. But like things, that's like only body washes that I use. I don't do a whole bunch. For my sugar scrubs, personally, I use turmeric sugar scrubs for dark marks and exfoliation. I don't use like a whole bunch of smell goody stuff. Personally, I just don't do that. And I've been told all the time I smell really good, I smell great. It's because when I get out of the shower, I use oils. So I'll use cocoa butter oil to make sure I'm moisturized, and then I'll use vanilla scented oils in certain spots. And I had to learn that because I used to use a whole bunch of different things, but that's what helps me. Doing a smaller routine with products that are actually good and actually target the problems that my body is having is 100% better than trying a whole bunch of different products and having like a 10-hour shower routine. But you just got to figure out your body, see what products those are, and yeah, it's just short and simple. Speaking about that with your products, I feel like it is okay to invest in your products, because if you're only using 5 products, investing in those 5 products, it's going to be 100 times worth it because it's going to work, it's going to last, and it's going to give you the results that you need. I feel like investing in your body products and using great body products is good, but that doesn't mean you have to go and buy a super expensive body wash. No, it's just getting a body wash that you read it and it targets those problems that you're having. So you have to invest in those body products, actually do research on them, and actually use them a long time before you decide it doesn't work. At least for a month consistently. Another thing, of course, eat healthy, drink a lot of water. You are what you eat. I feel like that's very true, especially being in America. A lot of our food is processed and just not good. And so when we eat things like that, especially all the time, sugar and stuff like that, our face, our body, it shows that. Personally, I feel like I have to lay off of sugar and stuff. I don't eat it often, but like when I do eat it, I feel like I eat it a lot. So sometimes that will cause breakouts and stuff like that. I feel like when you feel good in the inside, it really shows on the outside. Just be healthy, be mindful of what you're eating, what you're putting in your body, making sure you're drinking a lot of water, and also drinking some cranberry juice too. This is a really good one. How to not overly consume social media. I feel like this is a really great question, especially because our life, and especially being someone young, we look at social media all the time for advice, to learn everything. I feel like breaks are very necessary to ground you and remind you social media is an app that you can delete off your phone and you never have to look at it again. It is not a real world. I mean, it's real, but only things that go on social media are usually good things. If I'm showing my life, I'm not really showing the bad down times of it. I feel like sometimes when people are so heavily on social media, they start comparing their actual real life that has good times, bad times, in the middle, confusing times, and they're comparing it to somebody who's only showing all the good times, thinking that their life is perfect. And that's when we have those, oh, the grass is greener on the other side type of moments, which we all know it's not. I feel like when you start feeling like that, it's okay to take breaks and remember that you have a real life and that it's not real. And I feel like it's really all just about mindset. Change that mindset. Stop comparing. Don't compare your life to everybody else's. And yeah, pretty much it. I feel like the only way to not consume social media so much is taking breaks, remembering your life, don't compare it. I don't feel like I've ever actually taken a break from social media before personally. But I also feel like it's because of my mindset. Not only is it my job, but I do believe, I don't know, I feel like I've never actually had problems like that. I've had problems where I compared my growth to other creators and I'm just like, dang, I wonder how come I haven't got invited to a brand, trip or whatever. Like, I had thoughts like that. But personally, what I think is like, let me change up my content a little bit. But it came with time. But it's just, you gotta love yourself and know that God is leading you on the path that he wants you on. And if you keep reminding yourself of that, other people's paths and other people's lives, you're just going to congratulate them. You're not going to compare it to your path. Start working on that. Start praying about that as well, because that can be something that can hold you back. First, I thought I traveled in my single girl era. I really want to make some connections. Also, stay for those last wheels. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I feel like we are young. It's okay to grow. Just keep asking God for guidance and keep having discernment and just keep walking on your path. I feel like this was a good check-in, you know what I mean? Not only just for me, but for you too. Let me know if you guys agree with anything I said, disagree, or anything you guys have questions on. I've been doing really good at answering my comments. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye. You guys enjoyed us being in our